you and I are going to split on Truex. The stats say fade Truex, and I know why they do. Professor, I'm with you. I've read the stats, but I'm telling you something different this year about Truex. Maybe it's his last year. Maybe his, give a damn is dialed down to a point where he's just going to freewheel it at Talladega. I don't know. It's a little bit, I'm going to tell you, Truex at Talladega is a little bit like my Chase Elliott at Martinsville, right? I wasn't for or against. I was like, man, I don't know. My stomach is feeling weird about him. I feel the same way about Truex. Like in his last year, wouldn't it be kind of surreal, Professor, if Truex wins his Talladega race? Now I'm not saying it is his last year, but we thought last year might be, right? So his years are numbered whenever it's coming.
Yeah, he's 0 for 75 on drafting tracks.
Michael Waltrip was 0 for 5,000 and something or whatever his
462.
Yeah. 462. 0 for 462. All right, so there's our fade. We can all agree on Larson. Let's heavy talk Larson. I'm going to put a little asterisk next to Truex. You dropped your 30X nugget. So 30X nuggets are Harvick. I like that, Trav. Put him in green. Let's talk Jones. Jones is a 30X nugget. Do you like Jones or no, Professor? Let's go through the 30s because that's a great starting point.
I do like Jones.
You like Eric Jones? Eric Jones is in right there. We can get him at 36 to 1.
So you ready for this? He's been top 10 in 5 of the last 6 at Talladega. Finished 6th in both races there last year.
I'm making our list right here, Chop.
Yeah, I like
All
that.
right. I'm skipping Stenhouse only because he's not 30 to 1. We're sticking in our 30 to 1 bucket. Almirola, I can find him at 30 to 1 on one book at Caesars.
Yeah, he's one there. If you're gonna pick him to somewhere, this is a good week to pick him.
All right, I'm gonna make a list. We're gonna go through them here. Almirola, nope, not Busher. Truex, we kind of talked about. I'm putting him off to the side. I think you have to put something on him now, Chop, that we talked about him. Suarez, he's 30 to 1, and Dillon and Briscoe. Suarez, Dillon, and Briscoe.
I like Austin Dillon, won at Daytona last year. He's a super speedway guy. He was second in this race last year too. So,
and now listen, there's a penalty coming for the 3 car, and I think that makes him a bigger favorite at Talladega because if he loses those 60 points, Chop, the only way to the postseason for Austin Dillon is victory lane. The points bucket, forget it. He lost roughly half his points or a third of his points. If the penalty stands, I don't even know if they're appealing it. Neither here nor there. My point is, this penalty took Austin Dillon from, man, I hope I have a good run, to Austin Dillon, I have to win. So I'm not sure I would take him as a top 10 because I think it's checkers or wreckers. That's like the old saying, it's checkers or wreckers for the 3 car. But I like the 30 to 1 little nugget that the professor brought in. I think the penalty is going to put Austin Dillon in a pressure situation. His crew chief not being there is going to be of zero consequence when it comes to Talladega. Strategy will be easier. So I like Austin Dillon for that reason. I think he's backed into a corner. All right, so this is our list then. Harvick, Jones, Almirola, Truex, Suarez, Dillon, Briscoe. You say Harvick, check. Jones, love him. Dillon, love him. Those 3 are your top.
Yes. And then Truex, I think you and I have an emotional thing for Truex, so I want him to win, and you think he's going to win. So
something happened a long time ago, and I don't want to bring it back up, but I need the guy to win.
I know what it was.
We're not bringing it up.
How about Briscoe at 35 to 1?
Nah.
Ooh.
One
He was
10th
there in the fall. That's about as good as you're gonna get. Yes.
Well, then let's flip.
He was good last week. Like they're running better. I just don't know that this is his.
Is Ford going to be the thing again? Is that the initial boost? Get the Ford power in there.
Yeah, they were so good at Atlanta, right? And they're good at. They won, I think, 10 of the last 15 at Talladega. So, Steve, you think Ford?
Yes, Stenhouse did a nice job at Daytona. Let's not forget he won. This is not a discount. The trophy is in the trophy case, and the money, all but a couple $100 is in his wallet because the 200's in Chop's wallet after a good.
I love that Ricky money
at the golf course.
I love Ricky money.
But let me tell you, what I was going to say is Logano was 3 or 4 feet away from winning it. So it's not like it was a Chevy freight train that Ricky was at the front of. That was where I was going with that. So I think betting against the Fords would be a mistake. So let's flip to the top of the page then. Favorites: Blaney, Logano, Elliott, Byron, Hamlin. We already talked Larson, Keselowski. There's some Fords mixed in there. 12-1, 11-1. So, couple questions. First, Professor, who do you like? And then Chop, give us your gut. Like, is 11-1 is actually a long shot favorite versus a normal week, but at Talladega, man, I don't,
No. I think I would rather stay in the 15, 14 to 20 to 30 range and try to pop those guys.
Are we? So I have a real question for you, Chop. Here you go. Are we standing at the Ryan Blaney roulette table? And it just keeps going red. Just keeps going red. Ryan Blaney's on black. It just keeps going red. It's been red now for a year and a half. For no other reason than Blaney, first of all, is good at Talladega. Correct, Professor?
Really, really good at Talladega.
Really good.
He's actually first on the predictor, and yet he has a 55 race winless streak, and he's the favorite. Like, how does this happen?
So my question to the gambler, do you keep betting red or you just keep burning on that other color thinking Blaney's going to come through at some point? Can you afford to miss him is the question.
No, I think this week it's Blaney's week. Something told me earlier this week it just is Blaney's week.
I have to, like, people are going to get sick of hearing this, but I think it's kind of like, here's why we're like this. I'm going to tell you why we're like this. Because the scar tissue of missing Ricky at Daytona is real. And we cannot miss another one that we think could happen.
That's right. We're not missing him again, Ricky. I'll tell you that.
Chop will lose a unit. Chop will lose a unit at a principal.
But wouldn't you bet Logano over Blaney? Like, they're the same.
I'm going to bet them both. So, I guess, the way that we've been winning, we've hit every winner every week except for the first week. And it's been because we've taken, the 3 or 4 favorites and then 3 or 4 mid-pack guys in case the long shot hit. And that's, it's been covering the bets every week. Plus we get a little plus.
All right. Ford heavy. 30-1's the magic number. We like the Fords up front. Chop's going to sprinkle in some back half top 10s. Actually, and I think there's a bunch of top 10s to be had here. A lot of plus money top 10s. I think Chop's going to be heavy on the top 10s.
Yep.
Maybe a few groups. Waiting on the matchups. We're looking for plus money only, unless it's against Larson. He might fade Larson. He might not.
No, I'm fading Larson.
Oh, he's fading Larson. There you have it. Ford to win isn't enough. Toyota 3.5 to 1. I mean, there's only 5 of them, 6 of them. With Reddick in it, do you take the 3.5 to 1? I wouldn't.
No.
What do you think?
Talk about Reddick today. What's he look like?
Go ahead, Professor. Speak your mind on Tyler Reddick.
So the last 3 races there, he's been 28th, 39th, 39th. He's got 2 7th place finishes there, but that's before this car.
Oh, okay, so hold on a minute. Let me just back up. 41 minutes ago, we said, who are we going to fade? And you didn't bring up Mr. 39th and 39th? You didn't think that was a fade, huh? I think there was 39 cars in the field, maybe 40. So give or take, he fitted dead last.
You want me to give you some more fade?
Hey, Chop, could you define what fade?
Numbers.
Could you define what fade means again for the professor? Because apparently somewhere on the beach, he must have seawater in his ears still.
It says Tyler Reddick at Talladega in the definition, in the dictionary.
Uh-oh. Last time we faded Reddick, we had a DH tweet too. We might be going 2 for 2. Fade Reddick.
You ready for this? He's only finished 3 of his last 9 drafting races.
Again, there's the nugget.
He didn't even know he had the nugget. That nugget, he shook his pocket, and that one fell out.
If I didn't just look down and see that we skipped him, we would have not had that nugget. Thanks a lot.
Hold on, Professor. Are you on another gambling podcast you're saving this stuff for? Because I thought this was your one. Are you on another one? Should we be following a second gambling podcast where you really give us the good? What's the deal?
I didn't want to be involved in another Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick tweet thing.
Oh, you're involved. You are involved. Okay.
I don't need Denny tweeting about me.
Okay, hold on. Now I got to go back to this whole thing. Fade Reddick now comes out. Holy snikes. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
the
predictors got him 25th.
All right, we're fading Reddick. We're fading Reddick. We're fading Larson.
Yep.
Find him in the head-to-heads. Going to fade him.
You said you had some other fades. Who you got? Professor.
Me?
You said
What do you
had
think he's
more
talking to
fades.
me? Me? You talking to me? What
Now
are you
you're
talking
getting
to me?
sensitive? You're worried about these guys are going to tweet about you? Come on.
Oh my goodness.
You're killing me.
I want to fade Bubba too, but you guys didn't want to. So
Okay,
No,
well,
I don't like
this
that.
is an open forum of discussion here. You could say you're full of crap and tell me why.
I told you already why. He's got one finish better than 14th.
Hmm.
Okay.
And it was rain shortened.
Okay. Put it on the notes. If we're fading,
It's not
Chop
going on
says
the bet
no.
sheet, though. You can put it in the notes. It's not going on the bet sheet, though.
Fair.
so
I
just
like
so
Bubba.
I'm clear, make sure I get this right for the headline. The professor is fading all of 2311.
Yes.
true.
Great.
That's true.
Oh,
The
that's a
whole
great name for the
company.
podcast right
You're
there.
fading the whole company, the whole building.
Yeah. Make sure you say professor and let him.
Oh,
get
I
it.
am professor and bold. Don't put this one on the chop. I mean, we can all agree
Yeah.
on Reddick,
Right.
but Bubba, woo.
I am going to wear some Jordans later today too.
I was going to say, Michael might be giving you a call. What the hell?
I'm telling you. Woo.
Hmm?
Well, you
The
know,
numbers
there's the
never
good news.
lie.
Okay, well, look, hold on a second. Here's the good news for 2311. The last time he was so confident, they were going to win. So I feel pretty good for 2311. Chop, you might want to put a little nugget on the 23 and the 45 to win. Just at a print. It might be worth a half a unit just to prove the professor wrong. If
What
they
about
win,
the-
professor,
I got
mark
11.
this down. This is me, Denny Hamlin. Circle this day on the calendar. If 2311 wins Talladega after fade both of them over in the right-hand corner, then you are going to want to tune in next week because it is going to be a rip-roaring disaster for the professor. I'm going to triple coffee up. I come in so hot, he'll have nothing to say. Mark it, write it down, mail it off.
This week's podcast is going to be called "They're Going to Lose."